Hey guys, it's Miss Erlene. How are you? I hope that you're ready for almost our last class of our last week of class. Okay, we're gonna close our language class with subject, predicates, nouns, and verbs in a sentence. Okay, this is going to be very easy for you guys because we have been working way a lot in complete subject and complete predicate. So I don't think you guys are gonna have difficult to work this week. Okay, so the objective of the class today, guys, is that you're going to be able to identify the subject, the predicate, all the nouns, and the verbs in a sentence. Okay, let's move on. We're going to have a quick review of all these four things that you guys are going to be able to identify in your sentences. And we're going to start with the subject. Okay, who can remember what is a subject? Yes, exactly. A subject tells us who the sentence is about. Okay, remember that we said that a subject is not only a word, because if it's only a word, it's not a subject, it's a noun. So this is where you guys need to be careful this week when you're working in your worksheets. Okay, so let's repeat again. A subject tells who the sentence is about. Now I have three examples over here, and if as you can see, I don't only have one word, I have three or two words. That is my subject. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first picture. Okay, if you say girl, that is not a subject, that is a noun. So in this case, I'm going to use the example of the pretty girl. You can say anything about the girl. For example, the tall girl, the pretty girl, the short girl, the curly hair girl. Okay, any words that you can use to describe or who we're talking about in the sentence. Then I have a pig. Okay, so the subject in my sentence could be the pink pig, or you can say the short pig, or you can say the dirty pig, or you can say the huge pig. Okay, you can use any subject that you want for your sentence. And then I have a hamster. Okay, in this case, I'm going to use the adjective tiny. Okay, so I'm going to say the tiny hamster. You can change it and you can say the brown hamster, the little hamster, the ugly hamster, the fluffy hamster. Okay, you can use any words to use the subject in your sentence. Let's move on. Now we're going to go over what is a predicate. Remember that we have to use always two questions to identify a subject and predicate. What question word do I use to identify the predicate? Exactly, what? Okay, so what is the predicate? So the predicate is the word that tells us, or the word that tells us what the subject is doing or does. Okay, in this case, I have three different pictures. Okay, if I ask you, what is the boy doing? We can say the boy is flying very high. Okay, the second example. Remember, ask the question, what? What is that boy doing? You can say he is swimming in the ocean. All of this is your predicate, because remember that the predicate tells us what is the subject doing. In this case, I have two boys. The first boy is flying very high. The second boy is swimming in the ocean. Now I have a little baby, and you can ask your question. What is the baby doing? Or what does the baby do? She crawls very fast. Okay? So we already know what is a subject, and we already know what is a predicate. Okay? Remember, a subject, all these two parts of the sentence is a group of words. Remember, because if you only choose one word, it's not a subject and it's not a predicate anymore. And you're going to know and understand why. Now we have the other part of the sentence that you're going to be identifying this week, and it's a noun. So I have another question. What is a noun? Okay? Can you tell me what is a noun? Exactly. The noun is the word. Now focus in this. The noun is a word. A means one, remember. A word that names a person, animal, place, or thing. Okay? In this case, I have three examples of nouns. I have a star, only one word. I have pencil, only one word. And I have school, only one word. Okay, so the difference between a subject and a noun is that, remember, the subject is a group of words of who the sentence is talking about. And the noun is only one word, a word that can name a person, an animal, a place, or a thing. In this case, what place? The school. What thing? The star and the pencil. Okay, moving. Now, The verb is another part of the sentence that you're going to identify this week. So, what is a verb? Okay, exactly, okay? A verb is the word that shows action. A word, again, a word, only one. In this case, I have 3 examples. Okay, the girl is playing, jumping, or hopping, and the last girl, painting. I'm just using one word. Painting again, hopping or jumping, and playing. Okay, so don't forget the difference between the predicate and the noun is that the predicate is all the words that tells me what the subject is doing, and the verb is only one word. Okay, now we're going to practice. You guys are going to be doing this week in your worksheets. Okay, the instruction says identify the subject, predicate, nouns, and verbs in a sentence. Because you remember that when you were in kinder, you learned that in a sentence we can find more than one more nouns. Sorry. Okay, so you're going to have to find all the nouns and all the verbs that you can find in the sentence. Okay, I have 3 examples here on your screen. Okay, so we're going to start with the first sentence. Can you please help me read the sentence? Okay, the big bear eats honey from the tree. Okay, we're going to start by identifying the subject and the predicate. Okay, remember the questions that you need to ask. Okay, who eats honey from the tree? The big bear. So the big bear is your subject, not only bear. Okay, now to identify my predicate, I ask who. Sorry, what? What does the big bear do? He eats honey from the tree. All of that is your predicate. That's why it's underlined in blue. Remember what we have been learning for 2 weeks. My predicate always begins with a verb, okay? Now, we're going to identify the noun and we're going to identify the verbs. In this case, I have 2 nouns. What nouns are those? Bear, circle it in red. Tree is another noun. Okay, so if you find more than 2 nouns or one than more noun in your sentence, you need to circle it because remember that we are identifying all the nouns in the sentence. And in this case, how many verbs do I have? Well, I only have 1. In this case, it's eats. Okay, let's move to the second sentence. My little sister plays in her room. Okay, who plays in her room? Exactly, my little sister. My little sister is your subject. Remember, the subject is a group of words. Now, what does my little sister does? She plays in her room. That is your predicate. All of these 4 words that I have here. Okay, I already identified my subject and I already identified my predicate. Now I have to identify and find my nouns. In this case, again, I have 2 nouns. Which nouns are those? Exactly. Sister, that is a person, and room, that is a place. Because remember, nouns is a word that names people, animal, things, and places. In this case, sister is a person and room is a place. Now, what verb do I have in that sentence? Exactly, I only have 1. And in this case, it's plays, okay? So here you know the difference between your subject that is in red, your predicate that is in blue, my nouns are in red, and my verb is in blue. Okay, let's go to our last sentence. And it says, the black cat rolls over the bed. Okay, who rolls over the bed? Exactly, the black cat. All of these 3 words is my subject. Okay. What does the black cat does? Exactly, he rolls over the bed. These 4 words are your predicate. Now, we're done with the subject, we're done with the predicate. Now we have to identify our nouns. Okay. What nouns do I have in this sentence, or how many nouns? Again, I have two. Okay, I have cat, that is an animal, only one word, and I have bed, that is a thing. Okay, remember, nouns are only one word. And in this case, my verb is rolls. Okay, so this, guys, is what you're going to be doing this week. You're going to be identify the 4 parts of a sentence. Your subject, that goes in red, your predicate, that goes in blue. Then you identify your nouns, you circle them, and you circle your verbs. You have to be very careful when you're working in your worksheets because, like I repeat, you can find more than one noun in your sentence, okay? So please read your sentence carefully. Don't forget to ask the questions who and what. And then think about all the nouns that you can find in a sentence. And remember that nouns are words that name people, place, animals, and things. And of course, your verbs that are actions. Okay, so I hope that everyone gets 100 this week in your worksheet. Have fun, guys. And let's keep on working and doing a very good job. Bye-bye. Have a great day and blessings.